Institutionalized racism is still a very prevalent and aggressive problem today in American society. It is reflected in disparities regarding wealth, income, criminal justice, employment, healthcare, political power, and education. Within politics, this last presidential election was very interesting. Amongst Blacks Americans, a lot of them wanted Hillary Clinton to be in office. To which I replied, why would you want Hillary Clinton in office? Because of the fact that in Netflix documentary 13th, Hillary Clinton had referred to Black youths as super predators, and her husband, she supported her husband's decision to push the Three Strikes You're Out law, which is known for being detrimental to the Black community because we are already incarcerated at a rate higher than whites. So the Three Strikes You're Out just makes sure that we're kept in prison. Trump's campaign was the most interesting because it was completely based off of white supremacy and racist ideals. His whole build that wall thing. Most white Americans he got the white American vote because of the fact that he played on white America's emotions. And I'm not trying to say that all whites in America are racist. I'm just trying to say that there was a large percentage. I mean, he's president now, so Hillary did win the popular vote, but I mean, more white women voted for Trump than they did for Hillary. Why? Because his campaign was completely, banning Muslims, when, Muslims, it's not a race, it's a religion. When you're a Muslim, you practice Islam, it's a religion, not a race. And that in itself has, since 9/11, there has been people just literally attacking Muslim people, ripping off their hijabs, doing things like that. That is just like, why do people do those things that they do? It's a fear tactic. When you fear somebody, it's easier to dehumanize when you see them as the bad guy. His whole slogan of making America great again for who? Because last time I checked, in the early 1900s, do I have to go there? We all know about the civil rights movement and how everything was segregated, people were getting lynched. It's just, we can't deny these certain blatant things. But institutionalized racism is special. It's not special, it's racism, and it's always been institutionalized. I think that people are more in a progressive mindset now where it's obviously socially unacceptable to be blatantly racist, but there's these things called microaggressions. So, fantasizing about back in the day. I hate when I have a white friend and they're like, oh, the 1940s was so cool, and oh man, I wish we could go back to the 50s, and all this. And then I just think about like, wow, so you're gonna really just invalidate the fact that I didn't have the same rights as you. So yeah, the 1940s and the 1950s might be cool for you because you're not a person of color. You know what I mean? Touching of the hair. It's okay to be like, hey, I really want to, can I touch your hair because it's pretty or whatever? Like, I understand that you're curious or something, but like, if I'm like, I've been working in class and people literally, like, I'm just like working and people just literally start touching my hair, like, while I'm working. in class. Not recently, but in high school and elementary school, middle school, you know, uh, I really, that's why I don't wear my hair out, because of the fact that I'm just tired of people trying to touch me, and it's just disrespectful, because it's just like, you know, as a human being, I have the right to tell you, no, you can't do that to me, you know, please don't do that to me, or yeah, sure, go ahead, you can touch me or whatever. Uh, Asking people, telling people that you're well, okay, people have told me that I'm so well spoken, you know, and it's just like, what do you mean by that? Like, you were expecting me to be illiterate because of why exactly? And you know, asking people, what are you? I get that question, not a lot, because obviously, like, I'm black, but I've had people, you know, ask me like, hey, what, you know, what are you? You know, and I'm just like, you know, I'm black and Mexican, I'm mixed, you know, which is just like, why should I have to explain my ethnicity to you? Um, and where are you from? Uh, this one I don't get, but, uh, you know, I am biracial, so a lot of people in my family, my mom will get that all the time, like, oh, are you an illegal? Where are you from? And it's just like, where do you get the balls to ask people that? Just blatantly just be like, oh, where are you from? Like that's just normal. Um, Police brutality. Police brutality is just like a disgusting issue. Ever since Rodney King was filmed getting beat up badly, uh, you know, it's been, you know, police brutality has always been a really huge issue. It's just being filmed now. So it's not like, oh, this just sparked out of nowhere. All of this stuff has been going on. It's just being filmed and people are getting more like verbal about it. So that's just what I want you to understand. Like, it's not like people are just making this up out of the blue. It's been an issue from like almost day one. And since this country was founded on white supremacy. I'm sorry to tell you, but that's just how it is. And I don't want people to feel like guilty. I'm just trying to give you like what it's like to be a black person or a person of color. Um, it's really hard to lump all these ideals together in the time limit. I'm already over the time limit. Um, but yeah, black women are incarcerated at 2 times the rate as white women are, and as black Americans as a whole are 5 times more likely to be incarcerated than whites. I got this from the NAACP website, and a lot of my information from Wikipedia, just because it's like I speak off of personal experience and how I feel, but also I just wanted to show you that these are real documented statistics that you can find yourself on the internet if you take the time to look. All I'm saying is that as a person of color, I'm asking, you know, my white peers to just, I am not an angry black girl. I'm not, you know, trying to blame white people for all of my problems. I'm just telling you that there is this issue in society, and we just want to be heard, and we just want your empathy, and to just try to see how it feels. The next time your friend or people of color, or there's that Facebook post about Black Lives Matter, just take a second to really look at it and listen to it, to what people are saying, because we just want to be heard so we can all change this problem. The solution to this is education. The solution to this is listening. And we can all do that. And just like, hey, I'll sit down with conservatives and listen to them. And at the end of the day, yeah, they may have not changed my mind, but I can see where their mindset is at and where they're coming from. So I think that if you're one of those people that think racism isn't a real issue, really think about how many people of color you talk to and have in your life, and just kind of try to empathize with them and educate yourself on history and the disparities and all of that. So thank you for listening to me. Sorry this speech is like 3 minutes longer, but yeah,